Thank you, and the next one may be dear to some of your hearts too, is there will be special prices for active military personnel, home on leave, and seniors. I think, Bob, the senior pricing is right now is $5. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. Good evening, great turnout. I hope some of the movies we get at our theater now is good turnout. Our pricing is geared more towards the family. What we try to do is a little more volume and make the pricing structure, like we have a $5 Tuesday, which is kind of popular. And what happens when you have a selection,
It's hard to hear.
okay. When you have a selection of movies, when people come in for $5, it doesn't actually even come down to the $5. They just want to see a movie for $5, and they get to see movies that they probably would have never viewed before. So having the selection is so important to a theater for the audience to come. Our pricing for seniors on Tuesdays is $5. Seniors generally throughout the year is either 6 or 7. And our prices are always under $10. Some of the larger chains are up to $12. So we're a family theater that tries to cater to the community and tries to work in well and make our facility available for the community for whatever they need. We also have the volunteer fire departments bring their families, children, and everything to our theaters. We shut our theater down in the morning and provide the films free for the volunteer fire departments who give so much back to the community. And they bring their children on us to see a movie as well as the popcorn, candy, and everything. And the kids and families get a great kick out of it. So we try to do what we can. We try to be a good citizen. And I think that's the benefit of having a local, family, independent theater. We're one of the few independents left out there in Connecticut. Everything is, like you said, there are big multiplexes with 20 screens and IMAX screens and everything else. This will be a small, intimate venue that I think the community will like. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna move along a little bit. There are some other things like American Graffiti Night with 1960s period cars. There's an idea that we can, is this on? That we can, that there could be a rebroadcast of some of the high school away games that people couldn't go to. Now that we use digital instead of film, it's made that more possible. So there could be the morning, I guess the morning after the big game that was away, people could come and watch that. The basement is, the fire marshal has asked us to consider, and we're looking at the possibility of using the basement area, which is going to be extensive for emergency shelter, for emergency preparedness for the community. And another program that they've done is to have a group, which is like a club, where a knowledgeable person comes in and a group watches a movie, perhaps in the morning, and then listens to an expert talk about the movie and everybody discusses it. So there's some really good ideas to do that. The traffic, some people have a vision that the traffic is somehow going to be horrible and then we're not going to be able to control it. To start with, the traffic will be staggered because with multiple mini theater spaces, we can control it by having different movies and different times for all those movies, so traffic does not all come and go at the same time. The other thing that happens with the movie theater is it is pretty much off-peak from the business hours of the day. So there's also a good, they complement each other in that way. It's a good fit with Main Street traffic volume. Also, the movie times can be manipulated so that once we know what the highest time periods are for the traffic, that we can try to work the movie times out so that they don't disrupt that. The property is, because it's zoned for a theater, of really the same size. It's just that we have more mini theaters inside of it. It's already zoned, but the fact that it's zoned means that a decision has already been made by zoning that the property can enable this kind of a development. There are senior transportation systems in town that a lot of towns do not have, that bring people to programs, entertainment programs like these. Great walkway system. There will be sidewalks that connect. Parking lots will have interconnections, and the parking lot interconnections have been a real project of the town of Southbury, and when this is done, you'll be able to go from this property all the way up to 172 without ever going on Main Street. It's pedestrian friendly, we've talked about that, the interconnections with businesses. There are a lot of studies that have been done about, and this is important to the Economic Development Commission, about the theaters become a catalyst for other businesses in the community. And this is ice cream parlors, cafes, restaurants, shops. It turns out that more than 50% of the people, when they go to the theater, also go shopping or go to a restaurant. So it absolutely is a catalyst for improving business, and many communities have been drawn to try to bring a cinema, a theater into their center core in order to get this benefit of this of the synergy of this shopping and movie and restaurant. There's a study by Arbitron, but if you go online, you can read the whole study, but it confirms that moviegoers are younger, affluent, and active consumer group, that they tend to go outside of their home for entertainment, they participate in sports and other active lifestyles. Our Plan of Conservation and Development for our town, Southbury, notes that we're losing a lot of people in this young group. This is the young adults after college up to late age 30 that are moving out. They're moving out of Connecticut and they're moving out of Southbury. We'd like to keep them here. One of the ways you keep them here is to provide entertainment and some of the things they're looking for.
Can I ask everybody to please keep it down? Thank you very much. We will have time for public Q&A.
We're going to be in out another probably 25 minutes because the main thing we're trying to do is present this so everybody knows what we're doing here. One of the wrong assumptions is that the theater is a huge draw and it's a megaplex to draw from Waterbury and Danbury. Actually, we have a study that's been done and other studies that show that the proposed theater will not mainly compete in those markets. In fact, that the size, location, most moviegoers will go to the movie that's closest to them in their city. Southburyans and neighbors in small towns that favor the closer local theater rather than excursion to Danbury and Waterbury will also have the benefit of having a local theater. And we had a study done, and the results actually have just came out today, so we don't have it all ready to present. But Mike Zuba and Michael Looney from Malona McBroom did a study, and they determined, and I'm going to read this because it's important, that the primary, secondary, and tertiary trade areas for this proposed development site cover numerous portions of Southbury, Roxbury, Woodbury, Newtown, and Oxford that do not fall with any of the drive time radii for any of the existing 12-screen movie theaters in the region. And the three theaters they looked at were Waterbury, Danbury, and Seymour, the megaplexes. So we have different markets, and there's no indication that we're going to have any sort of significant draw from those areas. Also, that the recreation spending and the market potential for the population here are favorable for a movie theater, and they've determined that it can be successful.